Oh, 20 of these. Long regular season. I think it's my hat's off to our players. And I'm going to use a term that for lack of a better term, and we kind of practiced angry for a couple of days. We had a couple of really, really hard practices after the Purdue game, and I thought we guarded Purdue very well. But to come in here against a team that's been very hot, team that is, in my opinion, one of the best offensive teams in the country, a team that is extremely explosive, and to hold them to 61, I thought we fought on the boards. It was nice to see Quincy get back to his rebounding prowess that he's capable of. But it wasn't a pretty game offensively for us. I thought they did a great job on Marcus. But night we didn't get a lot of three-point opportunities. We had to drive the ball and get the ball to the paint. Dane Deja was electric on both ends of the court, not just offensively, but his presence defensively. And I thought our bench, again, was fantastic. We went to them early. They deserved the right to play. They've been incredible 2 days of practice for them. So, you always feel good about 14 wins in this league. It's not where we wanted to be at the top, but it's 20 games, and there's always going to be some roller coaster rides throughout that process. But now it's postseason play, and we'll take it one game at a time and one day at a time as we get there. But feel really good about the way our guys defended today and played against a very, very good Iowa team who, in my opinion, I think is NCAA worthy and should be in the dance, and is as good a team offensively as there is out there. I do want to mention it was great to see a lot of orange in the stands today. I thought our fans, it's always good to hear ILL. At the end of a game on the road. So postseason, Minneapolis, here we come.
How much is this a defensive blueprint for success in March?
Well, you went off, and we're one of the top offenses in the country. That's been well documented. I don't know what we are, third or fourth or whatever we are, but when you have days where the ball doesn't go in, you have to find a way to win, and that's what we've tried to base our whole program on, is being able to do that. And today was maybe a little more like what we were early, but I liked it. I thought Terrence was tremendous on Perkins and did a great job there. But we got to play that way if we want to make the run we talk about.
Brad, it feels like Dane and Quincy have impacted the game here a little bit more recently. What's led to that, and what's that mean for you guys going into postseason?
One. Dane's probably as hard a working guy as we have. He stayed committed, and whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's 15, 18 minutes, he's always answering the bell. So he's a very good player. We know that. And I thought today defensively he was terrific.
What about Quincy too?
Yeah, getting Quincy he's so athletic. And just playing hard and playing in the moment and not worrying about a missed shot or a missed assignment. Just play in the moment, try to win that moment. We've had those conversations about him. His leadership today was at a new level, talking and communicating. And that was so refreshing to see, because he's a guy that has been through a lot of battles. And so very, very excited for him and the way he played today.
Bro, is it reassuring from an identity standpoint that you win when you don't score 80, or try to get stops and rebounds, things that can help you win in a different way?
Yeah, I was a little upset at half because all of our turnovers came in transition. They came running. And again, I thought Peyton did a great job on Marcus. And they kind of took Coleman away, and after a 30-point game the last game, but I thought it was the way you have to try to play and win. Sometimes they're ugly, and to do that against this team and their building, means something, because they are a team that is explosive as heck, and you never feel comfortable, even if a 18, 20-point lead, you don't feel comfortable. So, felt like we had a little bite to us today.
I guess on that front, I mean, they did cut it to 4 at one point. Just how did you see your team respond to that? Because then you pushed it back to double digits pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think this group understands that teams make runs, and especially good teams. And we had we lost Peyton. He had a hard one in transition on a pull-up. That's a really hard shot, but he makes those. We lost him one other trip, and in transition, he made one from the corner. And, those are the things we can't do, but they just kind of maintained. And we got in a huddle, and everybody was positive. Everybody was upbeat. Coleman was talking. Quincy was talking. TJ's, demanding everybody get a kill, which for us is 3 stops in a row. And they were saying all the right things. So I'm really encouraged by that.
This version of Quincy important for you guys to elevate to that run that you guys talked about you want to go?
Yeah, we have to have him. He's as gifted athlete as there is in our league. And he's got a body, he's got experience, he can shoot it. And when he's nasty like that and sits down and guards and rebounds, he just takes us to a completely different level. And it's his physicality that helps. And I like that version a lot.
Brady, we've won 5 of 6, 4 or 5 heading into the postseason. How do you feel about your team heading into the winter?
Yeah, I feel great. It's one game at a time. I think this group has handled this stretch, and we felt like we had a chance to win the Purdue game, and it was a rebound, literally a rebound. But we've talked about that. We've tried to emphasize the fire. We knew we had one game here in 10 or 11 days when we had the second place deal cleaned up, and we've got to prepare and as I say, understand what the abruptness of the end is. If you don't play well, you go home. So we've got to avoid that.
You managed not to lose consecutive games now in the whole regular season. What was about maybe this team where they didn't let one become 2 or more?
Yeah, maturity, leadership, understanding what I think this group doesn't look ahead. This group has handled losses very matter-of-factly. They haven't let them. They understand they've learned from them, and then they've had the wherewithal to bounce back and so show some resistance and toughness. And if you're ever going to lose one, this is a building that's pretty easy to do after losing a home game. But again, I thought our grit and our fight was really good today, and that's nice to see this team has that.
You can elaborate on what practicing angry, what's that look like in the world? Is there any group of guys maybe spearheading that for you?
I think it was just going back to some basic early practices and accountability, and really challenging guys in really competitive situations all the time. I mean, we made every drill competitive with consequences. And, it's always about winning and losing. It's getting guys to understand winning and losing is not just on the court, it's life. So everything was very, very dialed up. Every mistake was there were consequences for, and the getting guys to understand that it's basically effort, and what generates effort is talk and communication, and then there was a lot of conversations as well.
Your
Our last one here.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Your defensive effort on Perkins, he was 1 for 10. He seemed to be very frustrated. Was that intentional, or is that just the way the game flowed? I mean, to be able to kind of stymie him the way you did.
Well, he's at the top of the scouting report. He's had, I think he had 18 in the first game, and I think the last time we stepped in here, he had 30-something, 32. So he's kind of, had his way with us a little bit. But again, when Terrence Shannon guards, he's pretty special. 6'6", 220, 225, and quick and athletic. And, you know, I thought we did a good job of contesting him. He's going to make shots most nights. I thought we did a good job of contesting, and that was our whole game plan. And, you know, we didn't expect 1 for 10 from a great player. But he was at the top of the scouting report.
Okay, thank you. Here.